Station.
Matches. Sorry, buddy. I wanted to act like I glitched to see what you said.
I liked it. It was good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I got today.
As far as intros go, this is a good one. Good as any intro so far.
Probably our best one to date. Hello, Matches. How art thou?
I art thou good.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Listen, I want to talk to you about something. Now, I remember you telling me a wee little story from the early days of young Matches. You know, we're going to flashback.
These are
You told me a story about was it kindergarten year? Am I right? Is that when the drugs started and the gambling?
Which kindergarten story are we on?
Which kindergarten? You know, they called you Gator, and you would arrange play dates. And you'd be like, Gator, don't play that Play-Doh stuff.
Are you talking about the note that was pinned to my chest when I got home one day?
Yes, please tell me about that. The kindergarten, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I remember it is because my parents told this story, to the point that I remember it. You know, it was a long time ago, but apparently I had a note attached to my little chest here, maybe a Post-it or, maybe it was pinned. I don't think Post-its were around back then. And it said, please tell Matches to stop kissing all the girls.
I bet you were like, I don't know what happened.
No, I was just kissing them and pushing on me. Kissing them and pushing them. They weren't nothing.
Was that your way of playing hard to get?
I was like James Woods and John Carpenter's Vampires.
You mean James Woods and John Carpenter's Vampires?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's funny because I had a similar thing, but not the same. So in kindergarten, I like girls. I like girls in I didn't go to preschool, but had I gone to preschool, I knew I liked girls from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like they smell good. They're different from us. So, and they do for the most part. They do. So in kindergarten, I had a friend named Jamie who, we became good friends after that. But I thought Jamie was pretty, so I kissed her on the cheek to let her know. And the teacher didn't see, and the teacher didn't say anything, and she didn't have to, because Jamie proceeded to sock me right in the face, deservedly so, because I laugh about it now. It was so much. She just hit me, and I was like, okay, don't kiss people without permission.
Yeah.
And it's not like my parents. And it's not like my parents didn't tell me to keep my hands and lips to myself. Sometimes you gotta learn the hard way, like DC talks.
It's true. Yeah.
You
can't just do whatever you want to with anybody you want to.
No.
No.
I mean, sometimes you gotta take a chance, And I was like, okay, all right, not gonna kiss anybody else.
That's not the chance you need.
No, it is not. It's not. It was funny though. It's hilarious. We've laughed about it for years. She's bam, and then we went back to circle time, and so a year later or 2 years later in second grade, we were having PE, and I was sitting on the bleachers with these three girls surrounding me, and they were like first graders, and I remember them like kissing me a lot on the cheek, and like just a lot, just like taking turns kissing me, and I was like, this is the best day ever.
You didn't hit nobody.
I don't even know why. I'm just sitting there. They're kissing me, and I'm like, "Are they practicing? What is happening? Do I have something on my face?" And I remember I got in trouble. I don't think they did. I got in trouble with the teacher because someone was like, "Shannon's letting girls kiss him," and then I found out. I found out months later. They all had cooties. Yeah. They were just trying to pass the infection.
Wow.
Yeah. I never trusted again. But speaking of sucking face, we are having a special time tonight. By the way, welcome to John Carpenter's NOMS.
That's right. We are NOMS.
NOMS. What does that stand for, Matches?
Nerding out with Matches and Shannon.
John Carpenter's NOMS. Oh, yeah. You might be thinking, why are you saying John Carpenter's NOMS? Shannon, why am I, Matches? Why am I?
Because today's show is brought to us by John Carpenter's Vampires.
That's right, John Carpenter's Vampires. Try it today. All other vampires suck. That's true. It is true. Yeah. I'll use that joke a lot. We are in the middle of Vampuary, our little holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be doing vampire movies for January. That's right. And it's been a lot of fun so far. And tonight the first 2 entries in Vampire, we did movies that we personally loved. You know, 2 of our favorite vampire, 2 of my favorite vampire movies, and one of yours and one that you rediscovered. And tonight we're doing John Carpenter's Vampires.
Yeah.
Which is a vampire movie. And we have a lot to say about it.
That's about all it is.
That's about all it is. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is not one of my favorite vampire movies, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like it could have been good.
So much potential. So much. Top of the mountain. And then all of a sudden, penis joke. You know, just...
Yeah. Okay. I'm just, like, excited to see what Siskel and Ebert say about it this week.
I'm very excited. I have a feeling they
I still have some nice things to say, but also overall, no.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, it's got the pedigree of John Carpenter.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and get this out of the way. You're not the biggest fan of the knighted actor Sir James Woods. No. But James Woods is a good actor, and he brings stuff with him.
Back then, he was, you know, if he was in something, you knew it was going to be good. Like, he's such a good actor.
Yes,
like,
yes,
there's
he's
no doubt
very
about
good.
that. He was one of the top talents of the day.
Yeah, and it's got a Baldwin in it.
It does. Someone called him the sweatiest Baldwin. I like that. I forgot Daniel Baldwin existed because I was going through the list. I was like, Alec, Stephen, William?
Or Billy. Or Backer,
Billy,
or Macker
Billy
Buddy.
Baldwin. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Daniel? And I was like, God, I forgot about him.
And then Adam Baldwin might be a cousin. He's not a brother.
He's not related. No, he's not related.
He's not related.
Like, he looks like them. I mean...
Yeah.
But he's not. Yeah, that's.
You don't think they tried to get him to take
Baldwin for the longest time?
Yeah, you don't think they tried to get him to take Daniel's place? Maybe they're like, look,
I mean,
we can make it.
Maybe.
Yeah. Daniel Baldwin is. I call him the straight-to-video Baldwin. This might be his most mainstream film. You know.
Yeah.
The one that's been in theaters.
And this had a couple of straight-to-video titles too, like sequels.
It did. Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw those, but he could have been in those, but he wasn't. They weren't really related.
I did see them, and we'll talk about that.
Oh, good. Okay, I want to hear about that.
I saw the first sequel, but we are here for Vampire, and we are going to talk about John Carpenter's Vampires. Now, is the title just Vampires? Kind of, but you can't say one without the other.
It's true. Yeah.
You really can't. You really can't. It is directed by John Carpenter. Semi-written by John Carpenter. We'll talk about that, kind of squished together. Here's the best part. Music by...
John Carpenter.
Catered by...
You expect it, you know.
You know, it wasn't... At the time we saw it, I didn't know he scored most of his films.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's why we were kind of...
I don't know if I did around that time, something like that. Maybe after that.
I didn't know he was responsible for one of the most iconic horror themes of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's insane. I had no idea. Like, he didn't score The Thing, right? Remember that? That was Ennio Morricone?
Yeah.
Morricone? Mariachi? Something. Macaroni.
I mean, to be fair, Halloween is just like, it's easier than chopsticks. You know?
It is, but it's so
good.
It's so iconic. It's like, okay, this may not mean anything to you. I know you weren't a huge wrestling fan back in the 90s when NWO invaded the WCW, okay?
Well, back then I was. I started to kind of come around a little bit. A little bit.
Nice, brother.
Just around that time, yeah.
Okay.
First time since, was it WWE in the 80s or whatever, yeah.
Nice. Basically, NWO was like half of the WWE wrestlers come over to WCW. Yeah. And that was their whole... The reason I say that is because they had this iconic theme music that... Do you know where that came from?
No.
That wasn't written for them, and it wasn't from an artist. It was stock music. It was the kind of background. Yes, it was the kind of public domain background music that anyone could use. Some guy just threw a random track on there, and it stuck.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of those like CDs of that kind of stuff back then. You know, the Silent Hill soundtrack was built on those, and a lot of like early like video game soundtracks were built on CDs. Yeah.
Teen Titans Go has the famous episodes about the night begins to shine. Do you know about that? Or
no.
You didn't have kids, but did you watch Teen Titans
Go? I watched Teen Titans, and when it went to Go, I feel like the quality lacked a bit.
And see, here's the thing. I was not a fan of the Teen Titans cartoon, and I loved Teen Titans Go. Because I'm a big goofball.
Well, I need to watch it. I still need to watch, more of it.
It's very fun. It's very fun. Yeah. But speaking of things you might not be ready for, let's get ready for NOMS brought to you by the iconic sounds of John Carpenter's Vampires. Ready, matches?
Let's roll that beautiful B-roll footage. There it is.
Man, what is it about that jingle that makes me just want to dance?
Oh, genius. I love it.
Yeah.
It's the best part of the podcast.
I agree.
Well,
Could be
that's
the
it for this
scabies.
week, folks. See you
It
next
is
week.
one of the best part of the It is the best part of the podcast. And you. And you.
And you.
Can't do it without matches. No, sir.
And Video Movie Corner. I like that one, too. Let's just go
That's a
Video
good.
Movie Corner.
You mean John Carpenter's Video Movie Corner?
This week, yeah.
Everything this episode is John Carpenter's.
It's
Just going to
not.
say. Nope. He even wrote the theme song I'm going to do later. I'm telling you.
Okay.
But yeah, so on this show, NOMS, if this is your first time to watch Nerding Out with Matches and Shannon, we really appreciate it. Take a moment to breathe it in. This is my real face. And yes, Matches is that handsome. He's that handsome. Yeah, show him that beautiful bead footage there, Matches. Ladies, get ready for the smolder in 3, 2, 1. Smolder. That's enough.
Is that how you
That's enough.
smolder? I don't know.
You're going to burn it. You're going to burn the screen. So on NOMS, not only do we talk about movies that we love, we talk about movies that we love with the assistance, if you will, from beyond, from the now, from the then, from our two favorite critics. Who would that be, Matches?
It's Siskel and Ebert.
Oh, yeah. Siskel and Ebert. For those of you who
Final
don't
answer.
know, Siskel... Oh, go ahead.
I just said final answer.
Oh. Is that your final answer, Matches?
It's my final answer.
All right, Matches. You're right. It is Siskel and Ebert. Very good. For no money.
Oh,
Sorry. That's all you have to offer.
we're not there yet. Oh, yeah.
I have John Carpenter's Vampires on VHS. Would you like that?
Ah.
Ooh.
No. I wouldn't like
So
that.
we go to Siskel and Ebert and we watch a classic review of a classic film, i.e. from late 70s to a little early 2000s when Siskel was no longer there, but it was still Ebert and Roper. And we see if we agree. We see if we don't. Here's the thing. Okay. So do you remember when we watched their review of Titan AE?
Yes.
Of Ebert and Roper, and they were in love with this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it's going to happen with John Carpenter's Vampires?
No.
Really?
No, and for the people at home, we had a trial series of NOMS podcast episodes that haven't aired because we were practicing.
Yeah. you'll
And
never
Titan
see them.
AE was one of those, yeah.
Yes. They were Titan AE was one of them. I'm just saying, like, okay, it should have been great. As I said before, it had James Woods. It had
Yeah.
John Carpenter behind it.
Yep.
It had a really good cast of other people, good performances. You know, whether or not you like James Woods' performance, I think you either hate his performance or love it, or somewhat like me, still can't believe it's happening, but kind of. We'll talk about that because I want to talk about Thomas Ian Griffin, or Griffith, or Griffoni. I don't know. Griffith?
Okay.
Griffith. Yeah. We'll talk about that. But we want to see what Siskel and Ebert thought about this. And do you remember the first time you saw John Carpenter's Vampires? Because I don't think you do.
I mean, I've heard the story so much, but even watching it, I don't remember any of it. I don't know why. You swear I was there. I believe you.
Here's the story. Okay, here's the story.
Okay.
Back in '98, Matches and I and our good friends Tita B and B.A. Baracus, we wanted to go see The Waterboy. It was opening weekend
Yeah.
for The Waterboy. And like a bunch of eager people, we thought we could probably get a 7 o'clock show. So we drive to the theater. We get there. Waterboy sold out for the 7. So we're like, okay, we'll buy tickets for the 9-ish. What do we do in between? Well, why don't we go see a movie? We'll make it a double feature.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, I've heard about this vampires movie coming out. It's got vampires. It's got James Woods. It's the guy who did Halloween. I think it might be fun. I like a good vampire movie. It looks funny. It looks violent. It looks delicious. And everybody goes, sure, Shannon. 4 for John Carpenter's Vampires.
Yeah.
And then we walked out of the theater.
My
feeling-
theory is that I was very tired, and I must have slept through that in anticipation of being awake for The Waterboy.
So you wouldn't fall asleep during The Waterboy.
There have been a couple of movies out there that I've fallen asleep during, not because, they made me fall asleep, but because I was so tired.
I get it. I
Yeah.
do get it. I get it.
I don't remember
used to
what
go,
those movies are. I was asleep, but
You can't tell. My wife did the same thing with, I don't know if it was Lord of the Rings or something. It was some kind of sci-fi or fantasy epic. And she went to see it more than once and kept falling asleep.
oh
And-
god,
And I've told you this before, and I love my wife. She's wonderful. We have a lot of the same interests, and then we don't. Because she thinks that big action sequences and battle scenes especially are boring. Like, she doesn't mind a good action movie.
yeah.
She thinks a whole field of running into each other and clashing and stabbing
Yeah,
and
are we
shooting.
talking about World War II stuff, or are we talking about like
Any
Avengers
battle scene.
Endgame? Avengers Endgame?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was,
Avengers
that was
Endgame,
tight.
Avengers, the first one with the,
It was hype. Yeah.
Right? That was the best scene. Me and Groot, we literally went, yeah!
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Great! When everyone shows up, pew, pew, pew. They should
Still
have
in my
had,
top 5. Yeah.
they should have had Stan Lee show up in that scene. That would have been hilarious.
sure.
It's like him just, let's get them, true believers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so John Carpenter's Vampires, we saw it, and then I guess the vindication was seeing Waterboy later, which was hilarious. But
Yeah.
I was disappointed, but also not. There were like parts I liked, and there were parts I like. This doesn't work. Why doesn't this work? This should have been better. And so I rented it like when it came to video the next year, thinking maybe I missed something,
Yeah.
Maybe. And I didn't. But
What do you? Oh, and vampires?
yeah.
Okay, I got
was like,
you.
maybe-
no,
maybe
I'd say you did. I enjoyed a lot. Like,
Oh, it's enjoyable.
I liked some stuff in it. I'll just say
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is not without its enjoyment. It is definitely enjoyment. It's just,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it, but the elements just, they don't gel. They don't,
Yeah,
it's like
let's
a
talk about
recipe
it.
that you put, huh?
I said, yeah, let's talk about it. How do they not gel? What do you think?
Oh, well, okay. Well, it's kind of like, remember in Better Off Dead when the mom substituted stuff in the recipe and it crawled off the plate?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like, I know, okay, John Carpenter didn't write the script. The script was,
Yeah.
and there's a whole backstory about that, but the script was actually written by a different guy. And
Yeah.
then another guy took a crack at it. And Carpenter wasn't even the first director attached to it. It was a guy named Russell Mulcahy. Mulcahy. Yeah, and he had cast Dolph Lundgren as Jack Crow. By the way, that's one of the best movie names ever. We could say that, right? Jack Crow. How
Jack
cool is
Crow. It sounds like, an action movie within a movie.
It does,
the lead
right?
guy's name is Jack Crow.
Jack Crow.
Yeah.
And so, like, he cast Dolph Lundgren, and he's thinking about casting Willem Dafoe as the vampire villain.
Okay,
And
that
then
makes sense.
something happens. Mulcahy leaves. Dolph Lundgren leaves. John Carpenter doesn't want to direct anything because apparently after flops... Well, okay, In the Mouth of Madness was wonderful. I don't know if it made a lot of money. But Village of the Damned, his remake of Village of the Damned in 95 was kind of critically panned. Didn't make a lot of money. And then he did the sequel to Escape to New York, Escape from L.A. And I'm going to be honest with you. I finally watched it for the first time ever.
Like, I saw it in the theater, and I don't remember anything about it.
What is it about you erasing John Carpenter's films from your mind, Matt?
I don't know. His later films, for sure, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, like you're going to watch a new movie. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Oh, crap, John Carpenter did it.
It's gone, no.
No! John Carpenter presents The Fablemans. No!
Oh, no.
I would love to see his version of The Fablemans.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
that'd be good.
basically, like, so John Carpenter didn't want to direct again. He had lost his love for it. They offered him the movie. He took a look at the script. And by the way, the movie is based on a book, which we'll talk about later. But I got to tell you, the author of the book, I kid you not, his name is John Stakely.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
And it's actually,
I saw that in the titles. I'm like, that's perfect. But it's spelled like a steak, S-T-E-A-K.
exactly, like the delicious one, not the one that
Yeah.
vampires eat right before they die.
I
No.
thought that was interesting, yeah.
Yes, we will talk about the book and everything because I actually read it. And
Okay.
it just like John Carpenter was like, I think I want to do this because he always again, remember we talked about he always wanted to make a Western?
Yeah.
Like Assault on Precinct 13 was kind of like a Western, and other movies he did were Western influenced. So he says, I'm going to make a vampire Western. Even
Yeah.
though Near Dark already did it.
You can't have too many of those. I think if you mix a little bit of Near Dark with a little bit of vampires, you
Yeah.
have a solid film. Yeah.
Well, and this was like a vampire Western action film. I mean, Near Dark had action, but you wouldn't categorize it as an action film. Yeah,
really bad James Wood dummy.
Yeah. Stirring some James Woods, who, by the way, had never had a lead action role before and didn't think he'd be good for the job.
Yeah, I don't think he was. So,
No. Oh.
so he nailed it in that respect.
He did. So John Carpenter attaches. He mixes the scripts from the other two guys, and calls in Dolph Lundgren to play the vampire. And Dolph Lundgren's like, I only want to play the good guy. I'm gone. So Dolph Lundgren doesn't show up. So he gets Thomas Ian Griffith, who I'm just going to say it right now. Up until Cobra Kai a few years ago, I would think this was his best performance. Because his performance in Karate Kid 3 was awfully
Yeah, I don't remember that either. So
I'm going to talk about that. But we got to get to Siskel Ebert. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Let's
Okay.
see. How do I do
I'm
this?
gonna think they gave it 2 stakes up. I just want to see if they thought the same thing I did. I don't know. Clunky.
Sharing screen. All right, we're sharing the screen.
Here we go. The
And
Eternal
we're
Siskel
up.
Ebert. He looks like a vampire. Hello.
Let's see what these
welcome
mofos say.
Coming up next, the Vatican
To my
sends
living
James Woods in search of the undead in John Carpenter's Vampire.
Nest inside this place. Figure on at least 6 goons, maybe more, and chances are we'll find a master in here somewhere.
James Woods leads a team of vampire slayers in the exciting new picture from the director of the horror classic Halloween, who has so many...
Just want to say that's the light on his face. That's
Yeah, you don't see that often on Siskel's face.
Let's see
And
what
his
happens.
voice sounds all energetic, like, hey, kids!
Oh gosh, this is 98. Oh, so like
Yeah. He was off the show. When did he die? 99?
99. So
Oh my gosh, he only had a few
here
months
he's having
left.
problems. Yeah.
admirers of that film
Oh, he
and
looks
its
bad.
success that he now gets his name in the title of the pictures he makes. So this one is technically called John Carpenter's Vampire. And it's so exciting, it should
Yeah,
only
it is.
enhance his reputation as a horror director. Of course, it helps to have
What?
What?
That is not at all what I was expecting.
Huh.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, well,
I
let's-
just don't. I don't. Huh. Okay, let's look further into this. That's
I bet
Interesting.
Ebert hates it.
have
Let's
James
see.
Woods on your team when you want to make a high-energy movie as the vampire hunter faces off against a vampire master, the evil Valak, who controls our nest of bloodsuckers.
For 600 years, I fed on your kind at will.
The story is actually a good one. Both Valak and the James Wood character are trying to get their hands on a wooden cross used in an uncompleted ceremony that could give vampires the ability to remain powerful even in the sunlight of daytime.
See the spiral pattern? Yeah. If you time sequence all the encounters, you get a logarithmic pattern, ever widening. It's a search pattern, Padre. They're looking for something.
The other key reason this picture works so well is that there isn't a single teenager in the cast. It's not juvenile in any way. All of the vampires and their hunters are portrayed by adult actors who play the situation seriously. So, no haunted high schools, no giggling, no drinking beer in the cars, no skinny dipping in the local lake. All this helps make John Carpenter's Vampires a rousing entertainment. It is properly rated R for rough language and scenes of intense bloody violence and dismemberment. But I enjoyed it within that context and give it thumbs up.
Huh. Interesting.
so. If you put a teenager
when did this
in your
come out in
vampire film-
1990? When did this come out?
It came out in the
1998?
fall of 1998.
Okay, so a few months later, around January, he would be in and out of like the show. I think for a while.
Well, if you
Yeah.
kind of look at him, and I, this is sad, but he does look a little weak, but he sounds energetic.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's
It
like wasn't
sounds like
John
he's trying to be
Carpenter's
energetic
Vampires?
and maybe not let everyone know something's going on. Like he didn't even tell
Yeah.
Ebert what was going on with him. He just figured he
Really?
was going to go to the hospital and come back all bushy as new. Yeah,
Oh, this show is turning sad.
yeah. So let's.
Thankfully,
let's
John
continue.
Carpenter's Vampires sustained him for a few months.
That's right. All right. All right, let's see what Ebert has to say.
Wow. I'm shocked.
I'm guessing it's completely opposite. I hope. I think.
I'm not
Maybe.
giving it a thumbs
We'll
up,
see.
although I share your delight that it's not another teeny bopper movie. I mean, I'm getting so tired, really, of teenage vampires. But on the other hand, this intriguing idea, which is that the church has given up on holy water and crucifixes and priests and prayer and just hires mercenaries now to winch these guys out into the sunlight and machine gun them and watch them go up in flames. That could have, I think, been dealt with a little bit more instead of just being the window dressing in a movie that is essentially just a shooting gallery in which you get, one scene after another of vampires and their hunters being hacked to pieces, shot, and dismembered and so forth.
In interesting
Spoilers!
ways. For example, we haven't seen self-immolation lately. I don't think this year, have we? When they get out in the
Is
daylight.
this a job for adults?
I
Two of
know,
us
please.
deciding, how long has it been since we've seen self-immolation in the movies? They all look like they have Roman candles in their pockets.
Somebody did a little research, I guess, and they found some new gimmicks, and it works. Plus, you've got James Woods spouting off.
Well-
He jacks up this picture so that it never lags.
I'm not giving a thumbs up. I'll concede that it could be considered in some circles as a guilty pleasure.
Oh, he's getting close to agreeing with me. That means in 2 years you'll come around to my opinion.
we will see in 2 years. Okay, our next.
Oh.
I do.
Oh, there we go. All
I
right.
wonder if in... Oh, and we're full screen.
We'll never see in 2 years.
I wonder if in 2 years, in 2000, Ebert was like, my late great partner, Gene Siskel, I have to confess something. I love John Carpenter's vampires now.
Yeah.
And my name's not Roger Ebert, and this is not my hair. It all happened in
Yep.
one episode.
That's
We
right.
missed it. Wow. I gotta say I'm with Ebert. It had the potential to be great. I probably I don't know. Wow, Siskel loved it. Are you?
Yeah.
My cast is flabbered. I am flabbered.
Yeah. I'm glad he liked it, but I thought even James Woods didn't do a great job in this movie. He was too all over the place, trying to move and he was just.
Yeah, he was trying to
I
be
don't
his
know
own
what to do
comic.
with myself.
Well, he was the only comic relief in the movie. If you think about it, I mean, the Baldwin did not step up. You know what I mean? He was the only character that was cracking jokes. Even though, again, as I said before, it's very weird because he has this macho pachacho. I guess he's supposed to be a parody of an over-the-top action hero in a way, but he's saying these weird things when the vampire, whose name is Valak, by the way, who Valak has him tied up, and he's like, I'm gonna suck the soul from your bones, and he's like, hey, I got a question for you. After 600 years, how does your thing work? What's going on with that? But here's the thing. Even if you don't like James Woods, even if you don't like this performance, he goes for it. And Thomas Ian Griffin does a really good job as Valak. Now, this may be because he doesn't have a lot of dialogue. Oh, hello! Speaking of vampires, is that your little vampire dog?
Yes, you.
Hello. Is he? Did I just see your new co-host? Did I just see my replacement
Oh,
in your
awkward.
lap? You weren't going to announce this till after. Great.
Tracy Summers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt's new co-host. It's been fun. Bye.
Oh. Okay, continue with the vampire. Sorry, he
Oh,
was
I
wanting
can't
to get
anymore.
up
Now
here.
that I know I'm going to be replaced, I got
No,
to
it's
trade
okay.
my replacement.
Oh, no, we'll give you another chance.
Barry, you can't lick the screen too much or enough. So yeah, Thomas Ian Griffith. So this was only his second mainstream film. He was the bad guy in Karate Kid 3. Did you ever see
Okay.
Karate Kid 3?
I did, but I don't remember much.
You don't remember a thing, do you?
Is that Hilary Swank? What was that?
No, that was the next Karate Kid. That was number 4. Very
Oh,
unnecessarily
okay.
made.
Three. Maybe I did see 3
See,
then.
that's the thing.
What was it
3
about?
was so forgettable. Well, the first one was one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah.
And I would argue the sequel is as good as the first one. Some people
Yeah,
make
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Karate Kid goes to Okinawa. Yeah. And World
Wait,
Tour.
is 3 the guy with the long hair?
Yes, that's Thomas
Okay,
Ian
that was
Griffith.
him?
Terry
Okay.
Silva. Yeah.
And what is he playing this?
Okay, so here's he's Valak the vampire.
Oh, he is Valak.
He's,
Okay.
He's
All right.
Valak. Yeah, Valak. Yeah, we'll call him Val.
Okay.
And so
I'm
here's
there.
the thing.
I'm
This
with
is
you.
only his second non-straight-to-video role because after Karate Kid 3, they were trying to position him as the new action hero.
Yeah.
They were he's like Steven Seagal, but he can act. And
I can see that.
and then straight-to-video said, "Come on over here. couldn't overhear for a few years.
He made some bad choices, I guess.
He did, and at least he got chosen to play Valak, and then he disappeared probably. But here's the thing: he's had a great career as a writer and a producer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
like
cool.
I had a list of stuff that he had written and produced, but he's been behind the scenes of a lot of shows,
Yeah.
a lot of classic stuff. Like he wrote for the OC, he produced a whole.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Let me.
insane.
I don't think I've got it picked up, but yeah, he's written and produced like a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. It says here, he let's see. Yeah. Oh, he wrote for Grimm, and helped produce Grimm, the show Grimm on NBC.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't finish it, but I liked what I saw. It was a fun ride.
It's a good show. It's a good show. It's
Yeah.
very good. You have to stay with it. But no, he's had a good career behind the scenes things. But in Karate Kid 3, okay, so his character is revealed as being an old best friend, buddy, and semi-mentor of Kreese. You know, one of the greatest movie villains of all time. You know,
Yeah.
Kreese played by, I forget his name now. And I always know his name and I shouldn't. But I do.
Okay.
Anyway, turns out this movie is about Kreese, you know, because we didn't see him much in Karate Kid 2. And he's down on his luck and he's desperate because he's got no one to train and no dojo to go to. And he goes to his old buddy, Terry Silver, who's a millionaire. Also, you know, believes in the whole no mercy rule. You know, apparently they started Cobra Kai together. And you learn more about this in the show. And so Thomas Ian Griffith decides we're gonna take this kid down. We're gonna kill his reputation. And Karate Kid 3 is not as well loved for many reasons. It's not very good, and I hate to say that.
Okay, yeah.
But
I mean, I guess I liked it
Thomas
when
Ian
I was a
Griffith-
kid because I was a kid, you know? But
Yeah,
I don't remember much.
My sister went to go see it with a friend the same night my mom took me to go see Ghostbusters 2. I feel like I made the better choice.
Yeah. It was the most solid thing, but yeah, Ghostbusters 2 was fine.
Better than Karate Kid 3.
Yeah,
So, yeah. And by the way, Ralph Macchio's co-star was Ryan Reynolds' sister-in-law, Robin Lively,
Oh, okay. All right.
who you might know as Teen Witch.
Yep. Top that.
Top that. Top that.
Top that.
Top that. So, yeah, but here's the thing. She was too young. She was like 17, and Ralph Macchio was like 50 at the time. I'm kidding. But he's a lot older than he looks. He's a lot older than he looks, as you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So, instead of her being a love interest, she was a friend.
Oh.
Yeah, no kissy-kissy. So, sorry, this is my roundabout way of saying Thomas Ian Griffith chewed the heck out of that movie. Like, his whole performance started at an 11 and got higher. Because he was like, all right, we're going to take this kid. We're going to murder him. We're going to kill him. We're going to eat him. Like, I'm not kidding.
you
There's a scene
serious?
where he breaks into Daniel's house through the chimney, and he's, like, sleeking around, looking around, like, we're going to find some evidence.
He really wants
He's
to murder.
so over the top.
Yeah.
So when they brought him back for Cobra Kai in the middle of the series,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, crap. But they brought him back, and apparently someone told him to calm down. Maybe age gave him wisdom. He was one of the best things about that show.
Cool. I still need to finish it. I've seen the first
finished it yet.
season. I watched the first season before anybody on YouTube.
Yeah, you
For some reason, I had YouTube Premium back then. Yeah, and
You was
watched it all,
Cobra
and
Kai
then-
before Cobra Kai was cool.
That's right. And then I watched the first episode of season 2 and just didn't pick it back up. I don't know why.
But Terry Silver does a great. He played Valak so good. Like, he doesn't have a lot of dialogue, and most of it consists of him saying James Woods' character's name. You know, Jack. Jack.
How does he know my name? I don't know.
That's right. Oh, so we have to talk about this. If you don't, even if there's nothing about the movie you love or don't love, tell me you remember the opening scenes, because it's got a great opening. Okay.
I thought it was a little silly, but it was good. I mean, you know, you just got all these dudes, and they're just like vampire hunters, you know, like
Yeah. So it's
I
the
like
Vatican. The Vatican is basically hiring out a team of mercenaries to eradicate vampires. You know, and these people are it's basically, in John Carpenter's vision, it's a Western where they're like paid mercenaries. You know, they're like paid assassins, only they're killing vampires. You know, so they're killing the right people, or lack of people. And they go in, and vampires in this movie, John Carpenter did not want them to be sexy or alluring. You know, he didn't want Jerry Dandridge, and he didn't want
how do you
Homer
explain
from Near
Valak?
Dark.
I'm just saying.
Well, okay, Valak was an exception, you know. But so the vampires, they're kind of like, they're dirty and they're scary, and none of them have dialogue besides.
Yeah. What do they call them? They're like the
The lower levels are called goons.
Goons, yeah, that's
And
it.
there's a master for there's a nest. Every vampire, they stay together. They sleep together. They stay together.
They stay in
And there's
small groups, very small
Yes,
groups.
they're small.
Yeah.
They're small groups. They break into their small groups, and there's a master for every group. And so James Woods leads this motley team of people. And by the way, most of them are in it for the money. Like obviously they don't like vampires, but they're not really religious, and they're not really trying to do good. They're just
There's like 20 of these guys and a priest.
What's
There's
that?
like 20 of these guys and a priest.
I know you're thinking, are we going to get to know each and every one of these unique characters?
And we're not now.
No, we're not. No, we're not. So they storm a nest, can't find the master. James Woods is a little suspicious. He's like, should be a master here. I don't know what's going on. And they have a priest, by the way, played by legendary Gregory Sierra. Did you know who that was before?
No, he looked familiar though.
The old guy? Yeah. He was famous. Well, he's been in a lot of stuff, but I grew up watching him on two old 70s classic shows. He was on Barney Miller. I can't remember his character, but he was one of the police officers.
Oh.
And he was Julio on Sanford and Son. He was Lamont's friend Julio.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
In fact,
Very
when we
cool.
started the movie, I was like, it's Julio.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I will say something cool about this movie that I've never seen in any other vampire movie. A lot of the vampires, they sleep in the dirt sometimes. Like
Yeah, that's
literally
cool.
the ground.
I love that. Yeah. That was a nice effect whenever they were coming out of the dirt, I guess.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, because as soon as Jack Crow's team drives away, you see the hands come out and there's, Valak.
Yeah.
And he hunts them down to their motel where the local sheriff is letting them have, this is not an exaggeration, copious amounts of hookers and liquor. That is how they're celebrating.
Yeah.
Yep. They said, we'll be out of town tomorrow. We're going to hook it up tonight. They got all these hookers.
Yeah.
And one of these hookers is played by who, Matches?
Cheryl Lee, or you might know her as Who Killed Laura Palmer. from Twin
We
Peaks.
find out in this movie.
That's right. Yeah. Well, she's the best part of this movie, I think. I think they really could have explored the whole psychic connection with Valak and the hooker.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
She's only
it's
good
true.
for it.
That's true. She's one of the hookers. She goes to freshen up because her and James Woods are apparently going to play, hide the crucifix. I don't know. And so she's in the bathroom and Valak attacks her. But here's the thing. It took me a while to figure out why he didn't kill her. He just bites her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he just bites her. And so then he proceeds to go to the room. And what happens, Matches?
Oh, gosh. A very familiar man opens the door and
Yes.
gets sliced in half from top to
That would-
bottom.
That would be Bobby from Sons of Anarchy.
That's it. Okay. I know he's been in
Yeah.
some other stuff,
Mark-
too. He plays
Mark
a big
Boone
character.
Jr. Yeah. Well, like
Yeah.
I said, he also dealt with vampires in 30 Days of Night. Much later.
Okay.
Much later.
Okay.
Did not end up good either. Yeah, no, some of those actors you recognize, but they definitely
Yeah.
don't know their names.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, there's this one guy who always plays a henchman from like every 80s and 90s movie. He's a Latino
and there
guy.
he was. Yeah.
He was there, and you probably
He
know
was
who I'm
there.
talking about. So Valak lays waste to every prostitute, every slayer. They are
Oh,
not
man,
ready for
yeah.
this.
It's brutal. His hands just going inside of him all the way through him, and like
Yeah. And Daniel
Slicing
Baldwin and
and
James
dicing.
Woods, they're like, oh, go ahead.
just slicing and dicing.
He's
Having the
breaking
best time.
necks. He's literally slicing and dicing. And Daniel Baldwin only seems to be upset when he goes after the father, the padre, and
Yeah.
he kills the priest. And he says James Woods' name, Jack Crow, and him and Daniel Baldwin run out. And the funny thing is, Cheryl Lee's like running around, kind of dazed, because she just got bit by a vampire. She's
Yeah.
high. And James Woods is so funny because he's gonna grab her to save her, and then he looks and see you got bit, and he turns around, and he's like, "Wait, I can use you."
Yeah.
Because apparently,
So the
like you
heck
said,
I-
she has.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. You'll be my viewfinder. You're gonna be my walkie-talkie. So here's the thing. So he saves her only so he could use her psychic connection with the vampire. And I
Yeah.
figured it out finally. That's what Valak wanted. He wanted James Woods to know where he was
Oh.
and what he was
okay.
doing. Yeah. Because
It's true because at the end, he's being used, I guess. Yes.
exactly.
That's cool.
Well.
Yeah.
So James Woods goes to to see the cardinal who's in town. The cardinal,
Yeah.
played by Maximilian Schell, who won an Oscar for Trial at Nuremberg or I don't know, some Nuremberg movie.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's a legendary actor. Yeah. So he plays the cardinal. He's like, I don't know what happened, Jack. And basically the backstory is Jack's, the reason he hates vampires, for obvious reasons, his dad, remember, was attacked by one, became a vampire, killed his mom, and he had to kill his own dad.
Yep.
And the Vatican raised them as their Assassin's Creed, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Crazy backstory.
Yeah.
And all of this movie is exposition. They're just talking about what's happening, and you're not really seeing anything. Yeah.
But
especially with the whole
good
map
exposition.
thing. You don't even see the map where he's looking at the map. He's just describing that it goes in a circle and goes in. They're looking for something. And, in that part in the movie, you see the map and you see the drawings and the diagrams and stuff. In this, you don't see it at all. You just get the exposition of it.
But you find out that Valak is not just any ordinary master. He's the master. He's like the original.
The original vampire. Yeah.
Original vampire. He's the
OG. There's some really good lore in this. And, they're talking about that cross the whole time. And they're literally spelling out to our characters and us what's going on in this movie, but later on they still have to learn all of this. Like, oh, is that what's happening? Yeah, that's what's been happening for the first 20 minutes of the movie. You guys,
where have you been?
Like, we already know this.
And Crow is all suspicious because he thinks someone sold him out. Because how does this vampire know his name?
Yeah, that's pretty mysterious. Yeah.
Yes, because they never leave any vampires alive, so he's not like he's got a reputation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's obvious there was a mole.
Yeah, there's got to be a mole. So they get a new priest. They get a young priest. Just like Dr. Evil said, one priest and a young priest.
Priest, yeah.
Father Gatu or whatever, who's like really eager, and he's like, I'm ready to join you in this fight, brother. And James Wilson's like, hey, Padre, how's your penis? He's just
God, you got wood, Padre.
Oh my gosh, yes.
For no reason, he's just the creepiest man. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not wrong. It comes off as a little awkward. It's very awkward.
Yeah.
Like, But yes.
About his real life. Yeah, that's about right. So.
And
those were real questions he had for the father.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, the machismo and the macho, just like Daniel Baldwin, they're both like, they're calling Cheryl Lee the B word, and, she's slowly becoming a vampire, and she bites him, and so he hits her, which, okay, I guess she bit him, but still, but then all of a sudden, he starts to fall in love with her, which is
awkward. Well, that one part where he, after she bites him, he hits her, or whatever.
Yeah.
James Woods like, why would you do that? Why'd you hit her? And later on, he just kind of, smacks her on the cheek and pushes her away. Later on. Sort of wishy-washy.
Oh my gosh.
I don't care. She's just a hooker.
He should have said, I'm the fourth Baldwin. No one cares what I do. Oh, you want to hear something funny? They wanted Alec Baldwin to play that role, Montoya.
Really?
Yes. He was busy. He suggested Daniel. Do you think Steven and Billy were like, seriously? Seriously, Alec?
Well, they were doing fine
here.
back then. They were doing fine back then. He needed his due, I guess.
Yeah, he did. Steven had the Young Riders. He had Biodome, which might have sunk his career. And I know you love Biodome, and it's a good
fun
movie.
time.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time. Yeah, he says he doesn't regret being in the movie, even though he could have had bigger opportunities. He said, after Usual Suspects.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, but there you go. But you got your Baldwin.
Yeah, you got your Baldwin, you got your hooker, you got your James Woods.
Yeah,
what else you need?
Let's see. How about a cardinal priest who doesn't know if there's a God?
Yeah, that's great. I love that. I also love the origin of Valak, the first vampire, as being a botched exorcism by the Catholic Church.
Yes.
Basically. And that's really cool, I think, to me.
Wasn't it almost like a reverse exorcism? Like the human died, the demon lived, and he became a blood-sucking freak by night. Yeah. And the cross... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just said yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. And as Siskel said, the cross will make him be able to move in the daylight, which is not the thing you want.
No, No. I mean, they don't even get close to that. They foil it before it's even started. So I don't know I still don't know what that was about, because if there's no danger of that becoming real, or if it doesn't become real and they have to stop it, what's the point?
But it was because we find out that the cardinal was the one betraying them. Because he's, like I said, he's become unsure there's a God. So in exchange for giving Valak the sun life, he's going to become a vampire.
Yeah.
But they need the blood of a slayer, which is why James Wood is spared. Because apparently he's the slayer du jour.
Yeah,
they go to Sunnydale.
A heroic person, or whatever they say.
Yeah. I mean, for all your hatred of him, he is like a good guy, even though he's a bit of a jerk. You know, like he's.
You mean
he's
in the
killing
movie or
vampires
out of the movie?
Right. Hey, I will say this about James Woods. I know you hate him, but he did help save Alyssa Milano and Holly Marie Combs' horses in a California fire that happened almost a decade ago.
That's cool, yeah. But he so hated that he had to be a silent producer on Oppenheimer last year. So
Is that why no one knew?
he's a creep. Yeah, he's a real creep in real life. No one wants to have anything to do with him.
Well, I
Sorry.
enjoyed his performance. And if Digstown is on, I'll watch it.
Digstown, okay.
You like Digstown?
I think I've read like the book back in the day. Like I was into
book?
novelizations of movies back in the day for some
You mean
reason.
after the movie
Yeah.
came? Oh, I love those. Yes.
Yeah.
Because they'd always add something. You'd be like, I don't remember this part at all.
Yeah, I like it.
We gotta be more like a real book. So yeah, the cardinal tries to do the reverse exorcism, and Father Gitu, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He saves the day, and Daniel Baldwin, who's been keeping Laura Palmer alive, he drives off with her, and Laura Palmer goes full vampire in a very like good, not scary, but a very like whoa scene. Like she turns around, and she's like, ah!
Oh yeah, that was
Literally,
good. I liked it.
She rips his throat out, almost rips the skin
Yeah,
off.
yeah, that's true. You come back and what James Wood is up on a cross. He's got to be burned on a cross and bled out or something. Yeah,
Something
and I like
like
it.
that.
Let's talk about when the cross gets knocked over.
You talking
you
about
notice-
when Daniel Baldwin does the crossbow flip?
Yeah, and it like takes the cross down, and it seems
So
like a very
Daniel-
different, even a different camera is used or something. It just like falls over, and there's this dummy
some
of
stock
him on there,
footage.
and it's an obvious dummy. Like,
That's awesome. So Daniel Baldwin, who is recovering from getting nearly killed by Laura Palmer. You know, Laura Palmer shows up with blood on her face, and James Wood sees her, and you can see he's dejected, like, oh crap, Montoya. You know?
yeah,
So Daniel Baldwin like uses a lighter to burn out to slow down the infection because she'd already been him. So he was slowly turning, but he's been treating it.
I
And
like
he's
when
still
he does.
been helping.
Who was it that was it him that had the SMG, the machine gun, and just shot it off and made it hot and put it on another wound or whatever?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
And then there was one with his arm and the thing he used a lighter, I think, or something like that. One of the times,
that's what it
he
was,
was
that's
all
what it
about cauterizing his own wounds. Yeah.
He was. Yeah, it's like
All about it.
Tis but a flesh wound.
The gun thing was my favorite though. It was like, wow, he just shot it off a little bit. It was so hot that he could like cauterize his wound with it.
No, kids don't try that at home. So he comes flying in to save the day in the Jeep, shoots the crossbow at the cross, and James Woods ducks, and like you said, it pulls the cross up, and it's so funny.
Wow.
Yeah, and then of course everything goes wrong because they don't have a priest. The sun is coming up, and Valak, needs. So they have a showdown. Valak gets killed by the sun, and James Woods
Siskel was
decides-
delighted.
Do what now?
Siskel was delighted.
Siskel was like, "Yay!" Here's the thing: he thought Fright Night was gross. Remember that? That was the one that turned him off. It's gross.
But
Well,
that
this
was,
has a ton.
15 years earlier, 13 years earlier. So
I guess, because there were no teenagers there. So if
there
adults
wasn't anything super gross in this one, though.
no, not gross, but violent, very bloody.
Yeah, there was violent. Yeah,
Probably
yeah. There was
Carpenter's
no.
most violent.
There was some gore, but it was quick. You know.
Yeah, no,
like-
it wasn't. I mean, it was gratuitous, but not in a way
Yeah.
of like, oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. You're not naggedy, like, oh gosh, feeling for these guys.
Yeah, except for Mark Boone Jr., except for poor Bobby.
But I think Cheryl A was fantastic in this movie. She played vampire so cool.
She
I
was
think
good.
she's
She
a
was
very
good.
cool vampire.
She gets into a trance when she's seeing what he's doing. She's like, he killed the priest, he killed the priest. You know, she's freaking out. So, but
She's good.
But the ending is pretty cool because like Daniel Baldwin puts Cheryl Lee's not dead. He puts her in the back of the truck with no windows, and James Woods is like, "Saw you in love, huh?" You know.
Yep.
And Daniel Baldwin decides he's going to drive her as far as he can to a less sunny world that they're going to live. And James, the father, is ready to kill him. You know, he's a vampire.
Yeah.
And
he's
Jack
turning. He's going
Crow's-
to turn.
Yep, yeah, he's going to turn. Yeah, eventually. Not, maybe not as fast as Laura Palmer. And James Woods decides to give him 2 days of cover.
Yeah.
And so him and Father Gets You go to slay the vampires.
Aren't they just going to be dumb goons, though? Like,
I don't know if all the goons are. I don't know. Technically, she bit him. Would that make her? I don't know what makes a master. They never really say in this movie.
yeah.
Yeah, because apparently Valak was the first, so that makes him master of the masters.
Yeah.
Master of his domain. Master of the house. Mother of other people.
He died real good. I love it.
Yeah. Well, like you said, the lore is pretty good. You know, about the exorcism.
It is. It's very interesting. And it's like, I wish they could have fleshed out a better movie. But I'm glad John Carpenter said he had a really good time filming this movie, even after the fact. He said it was great. James Woods doesn't work well with other people, but they worked so well together. Is what he said.
And James Woods was honored because he's like, "Are you sure you want me? Like, I don't do a lot of..." Because James Woods is a great actor, and he does leads, but not all the time, and he hadn't done a whole lot of lead as the... Like, he usually would play either a villain or a reporter, or... You know? Yeah. So, or a con man. He's very good at playing a con man.
That's true, come on. That's probably why I hated him so much back then.
Well, do you think he should play the live-action Hades if they ever do a live-action Hercules? I mean...
maybe. No, he could voice it.
They can do CGI.
I'll have a stand-in.
Right. Well, party, we'll kiss, we'll go home, everybody happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was so much in the movie that could have worked. It was just clunky, I guess, is what I would say. Like, it just... Like, Thomas Ian Griffith gives a great performance without saying much. He's elegant, he's scary. Not scary, but you know what I mean. He's creepy.
Yeah.
And Laura Palmer, like you said... She is great. You know, she's not given a whole lot to do, but she does well with it.
Yeah,
and Daniel Baldwin's even good, even though he's all like, shut your mouth.
He is good. I like him. Yeah. I mean, but his name, Tony Montoya.
Montoya.
Such a name.
It is, right? It's just so weird. So the book it's based on is, okay, I would say completely different in so many ways. And also, what's funny about the book is the S in vampires is a money sign. It's a dollar sign.
Huh.
You know, because they hunt vampires for money for the Catholic Church.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah, the Vatican's label that pays them. Do what?
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah,
okay.
That's pretty cool.
Well, get ready. I'm about to drop some knowledge.
Okay.
So the book starts off, Jack Crow is in the book, but there is no Montoya. Actually, the character of Montoya is basically, his name is Catlin, which is who Mark Boone Jr. apparently plays in the movie.
Oh.
So they pretty much just replaced what could have been Catlin with Montoya. But anyway, so it starts off the same. They find a nest, can't find the master, and then all the team gets slaughtered in the hotel. Okay? Yeah. And then he goes back to the Vatican, but it's completely different from there. There is no overarching plot about a master trying to find a cross. There's no connecting plot. It's just them going to different places to kill vampires. And by the end of it, Jack Crow gets jaded and he lets the vampires take him. And at the end, they have to kill Jack Crow, who's a vampire. So that ought to make you happy, knowing that James Woods' character dies.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's not very well written. I'm sorry. Because here's the thing.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I bought it.
Oh, my God.
I bought it in 2000. I bought it like in 2006. And I was like, I'd always wanted to read it. I was like, I'm going to read John Stickley's Vampires, you know? And
some of my favorite books were not very well written. I'll just say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Ready Player One, you know?
I hear good bad things
love
about
that book, but it's not very well written.
Oh, okay. Is it like reading a video game, or?
No, I mean, it really sucks you into that world, which is really good. But you just have to read it to see. Like,
okay. I don't know if I have time to read. No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't read it. I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't know. After Vampires, I may never read again. But
it's true.
I'll tell you one of the reasons this book sucks, okay? Unintended. The first scene when the master is, and there's no Valak, just a master, when he's slaughtering everyone in the hotel room, the dialogue goes like this. It does a period after every word to where it goes, and he tore them to pieces. Like, it's supposed to be really intense, right?
Yeah.
Like, he killed them all. Then it proceeds to do that throughout the book over and over again. It does the period thing, and it just gets so old.
Wow.
I'm like, it was cool the first page.
Yeah. Then we kept going. Sounds like a lot of the same, you know. Like Ebert was saying, like how many times can you stab a vampire and drag her out into the light, and make that interesting? I would say every time. I like.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing about the lore in vampires is that garlic don't affect them. They don't care about crosses.
Yeah.
In fact, snaking doesn't really kill them. Right?
Yeah.
It just kind of weakens them.
Kind of
And
weakens
the only
them.
way to,
Yeah, you're right. Well, he said directly that the stake in the heart kills them, but they still have to drag them out into the sunlight, which is cool.
The first time we saw it, I'm like, how come they're not burst? They don't burst into dust. You know, you have to drag them out in the sun. So that's why what they do is very street level and dirty. It's not elegant. They have, like you said, a winch on the Jeep, and they pull them out. Yeah. So, I don't know. It could have worked, and it's not bad, but it's just not great. I don't know what. There was some unevenness to it. I thought maybe there were some scenes they didn't show that they could have.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So it's not one of my favorite vampire movies, but if it was ever on cable, or if I was looking for 2 hours to kill streaming, I would probably watch it. Yeah. So it is funny that James Woods is in the movie, because did you know that John Carpenter had a list of people he wanted to hire, and they either couldn't do it, like Al Pacino, Clint Eastwood, and of course his muse, Kurt Russell.
Wow. Okay.
Do you think Kurt Russell might have done a better job with the role, or do you think the role was just...
I would have liked the movie a little better, but I don't know if it would have been any better.
Right,
you know?
right.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of roles, it's not the same role, but in the sequel, Vampire Los Muertos, which was mostly straight to video, from what I know. Have you ever heard of this movie?
Both of the sequels were both straight to video. Yeah.
Yes. I rented Los Muertos, thinking, hey, could it be worse than John Carpenter's Vampires?
Yeah. Well, it did play in theaters in other countries, a couple of other countries.
It did.
Japan and somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently Vampires, the first one, was big in other countries.
Huge. Yeah. That's really
huge
strange.
In Guam. Huge in Guam. But yeah, John Bon Jovi plays the lead in Vampires Los Muertos. Which I was cool. I know, which I was cool with. You know, he'd done a little acting at that time, and I was like, I'm cool with John Bon. Yeah, come on, man. Wanted Dead or Alive. And it's basically kind of, it's not the same movie. There's a female master, but you know your movie's not good when one of the parts is played by Eddie Winslow from Family Matters. I'm sorry, Darius McCrary. I can't stand you.
Oh, no. He was great in Family Matters.
Huh?
He was great in Family Matters.
No, I hated him in Family Matters.
Really?
He was supposed to be the handsome, cool older brother. And,
he was the handsome, cool older brother. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know he was supposed to be, but they brought in Urkel. They had to. And then Waldo Faldo. That was the only time he was cool.
I love Waldo Faldo.
I love Waldo Faldo. That's what I mean. He made Eddie, likable. No, it's not about Darius McCrary. I don't know what it is. I was not upset when he died in Transformers. I was just mad they had to kill Jazz to do it.
True.
Yes. Why was he able to voice Jazz? Why? Anyway, point being, the movie is not good. Like, even more not good. At least Vampires has some good stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't even know if I finished it to this day.
Okay.
That's how bad it was.
Was it all exposition like this movie, or was it like...
No, it was a lot of long shots of traveling and long, like, dream sequence. I don't know. I can't even...
Interesting. Yeah.
I would say don't see it, even though John Bon is wonderful.
They went a dumb, artsy route, it sounds like.
Kinda.
Yeah.
For straight to video. Now, Carpenter produced it, so that's... Yeah. And then there was a third one called The Turning, which I've never seen, and I don't think you need to.
It has nothing to do with John Carpenter, I don't think. No. And it's martial arts vampires?
It's just vampires in an Asian country. I don't know which one. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Makes sense because it was popular, over there.
Yeah.
I guess.
And Thomas C. Griffith was a martial arts champion in real life, so.
Yeah, true.
There you go. But his best performance until he revived Terry Silver.
Yes.
So for John Carpenter's Vampires, let me ask you something, John Carpenter's matches. What would you give it? Or do you want me to rate it first?
Go ahead. What do you think?
Okay. Out of 5, do you have wood, Padres? I'm going to give it 2.5. It's okay. It's watchable. It is very watchable. And you can watch it. And it's got some good stuff. It just... Only, you know what? If it was directed by someone besides John Carpenter, I'd probably be like, "Oh, this is okay. I forgive it." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And Carpenter's great. He's made some not great films, and this was his era when he just stopped making great films, and he retired at the right time. You know?
Yeah, I think he was just, let's just do something dumb. Let's do this. See if it works. You know?
Like you said, he had a lot of fun doing it, so good for him.
Yeah, good for
And
him.
it got him
Yeah, for
excited
real.
about-
That's awesome. I want to have a good time when I'm doing things.
Do what now? I'm sorry.
I want to have a good time when I'm doing things.
That's
you know,
right.
even if
Even
it
if
doesn't turn out well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm
this.
cooking. Is that meatloaf? I don't know, but it was fun.
Like what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Wait, what? Are you saying we're not meatloaf?
What? Okay.
Oh my gosh, we're just loaf. We're
Well,
just
I
loaf.
give it. Let's see. I watched it on. I rented it on my Vudu/Fandango at home. Voodoo, yeah, and I gave it the same rating I'm going to give it here because that's how I feel. I gave it actually the same as you.
Oh.
2.5. I don't even know.
Come on, man.
John Carpenter's
Black crosses out of 5 black crosses.
expositions. Let's just call it 2.5 expositions.
I love how you're always emphasizing the exposition of this.
It's my favorite part of the movie, but they didn't do it well in this.
It's a lot of talky talk. It's a lot of talky
Yeah.
talk. I wonder if John Carpenter had stuck to the book, would it have been better? I like the idea of the first vampire and the
Yeah.
exorcism. So I don't know. I
If they
do
fleshed
like
all
those
that out
elements.
instead of going with that draft or whatever. I think it would have been nice, but
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. Maybe if he had a third person come in, I don't know. But
yeah.
there you go, Vampuary, John Carpenter's Vampires. You know, what more can we say? I mean, there was a lot at stake here.
Yep, February comes to a conclusion next week. Is that right?
Yes. Do we know what we're gonna do next week?
We're talking about Interview with the Vampire because
Yeah,
it's a big one. It's a good
Yeah.
one.
It is. It is.
yeah.
It was originally called Coffee with the Vampire. No. Brunch with the Vampire. My Dinner with Andre the Vampire.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, well, there we go. So what happens next, Matches?
What happens next is Shannon sings a ridiculous, silly song.
That's true. Presented by John Carpenter. As you know, I try every week to thrill our ears and tickle our cerebellums with a great theme song. I try to quiver your liver, and we're gonna see if this is it. I think this is it. I decided to go a different route, a different kind of music,
What is he?
inspired by the sounds of John Carpenter's Vampires, which, by the way, we barely touched on. But that music score, it lets you know right away this is a Southwest movie. This
Okay,
is
yeah.
This is the hot,
true.
the bluesy guitar.
Yeah.
So I don't have any of that, but I think I'm going to try it tonight, and I think you're going to like it. So I need you to put on your best boots, your sweet bee jeans, as we called them in the 90s. Put on your
Got
cowboy
my
hat.
shit kickers on. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Get your cow kickers on. Are you ready?
I'm
We're
ready.
going back
Let's
to
do
our
it.
roots, baby. Okay, here we go. And the scene. Blame it all on our moms. We grew up to host NOMS. Movies they took us to see. Fights with lightsabers. Great Muppet capers. Terminator 2, O, and E.T. So it's just no surprise those Siskel and Ebert guys would inspire us to do this podcast. We love the movies, we love being goofy, and Betty White, she's got sass, 'cause we watch films with low ratings. Some are misunderstood, and some are worth hating, like Drop Dead Fred.
Hey.
But we love Better Off Dead. Oh, we watch Twister for the tornadoes, and we always order fried green tomatoes. Oh, we watch film with high or low ratings. Come on, matches! Oh, we watch films with low ratings where the whiskey. No, that's not copyrighted.
Okay.
There you go.
It was cute.
John Carpenter's theme song.
Yeah, Weird Al it is not, but it was cute.
Is it Cletus T. Judd? At least?
It could be.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Apologetics. Do you know there's a Christian rock version of Weird Al Yankovic called Apologetics? With an X?
No.
Oh, they are wonderful. They take popular songs, like, well, I hate the term secular, but they take popular mainstream songs and they turn them into Bible lessons or Bible songs. And it's not as cheesy as you think. It's actually very fun.
Okay.
They have one called Downer of a Sister that is chop suey, and it's the story of Jacob being tricked into marrying Leah instead of Rachel.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's like, Sam, you made me want to marry Leah. I wanted Rachel. You wanted to. I wanted to marry Rachel.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding.
Oh, you find all the weird stuff.
Thinks, huh?
You find all the weird stuff.
I do. Well, speaking of Weird Al Yankovic thinks they're great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he thinks they're top notch.
Cool. Yeah.
So check out Apologetics. But there you go. Speaking of apologies. Well, speaking of no apologies, our next segment, I think me and Matches are pretty excited about. Are you ready for this jelly, Matches?
I'm ready for this jelly.
All right. We present to you John Carpenter's Video Movie Corner Pick of the Week. You got video pick, Padre? My mic keeps falling. I got technical difficulties.
Hello, Clarice.
Yeah. Dr. Lecter, just tell me what I want to know. Dr. Lecter, what's going on? Is that guy from Monk? That guy from Monk, he's the killer.
That's right.
That's my impression of Jodie Foster in that movie. Dr. Lecter. So, this is the Video Movie Corner Pick of the Week. We're having fun. We like to have fun. That's what we do. Thank you for listening, if you're still with us. What do we do on the Video Movie Corner Pick of the Week?
The Video Movie Corner Pick of the Week. On the Video Movie Corner Pick of the Week, we pick a movie that we may not do on this podcast. We might, something like that every week, and it's just kind of a movie recommendation of the week.
Yeah,
we try to keep it short and sweet, and recommend something that we like or we've seen recently, or was really good or panned, and we thought it deserved a little recognition.
Exactly.
So here we are. Yeah,
we have arrived. All right. Who wants to go first?
I think you do.
Okay, yes, I do. How'd you know? That's crazy. I actually don't. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a movie on my phone. I'm kidding. My movie coincides. My mic keeps falling down. I think it got bit. Maybe we can follow the psychic connection. So my movie corner video pick of the movie corner of the time of the crop, it just happens to be coinciding with February. My movie is a recent release, not too long ago. Not too long ago. Let me ask you something. Vampire movies, what's your favorite vampire classic character that's been done over and over?
Let me think. Over and over?
Yeah, a character that's
Are we
been
talking
used
about,
over.
like, Count Orlok?
No, not Count Orlok. Or Count Chocula.
Count Chocula, yeah, he's been done over and over, yeah.
And no, we're not talking
Hotel
about
Transylvania 5.
No, not the Jeff Goldblum and Begley Jr. classic. Which, by the way, that's the second time he worked with Gina Davis, Jeff Goldblum. But that's not the point.
Oh,
The point being, your favorite character. You would think Dracula, but no, you didn't know all this time. Your favorite character was Renfield. Now, for those of you who don't know who Renfield was, Renfield actually is forgotten a lot in Dracula lore. Like, sometimes he's in a movie or whatever, and sometimes he's not. And Renfield was basically, he was basically what Jonathan Harker would have turned into, because he was bitten by Dracula in the classic story. And I don't know, in the 1992 movie, he was in an asylum in London. He's basically like kind of a half vampire. Like, he's got some of the powers, some of the abilities, but not really. And he loves to eat bugs.
Yeah. Oh, goodness,
and someone was thinking, why don't we make a fun, action-packed, slightly bloody, very good movie about Renfield in the modern day? And someone went, I've got 2 Nicholases you're gonna love.
That's true,
It's Renfield. It's Renfield from not that long ago. I think it was 2022, maybe 2023. I think so. I can't remember. Yes, but it's Nicholas. Is it Holt or Holtz or Holt?
Holtz, I think.
Holtz. Nicholas Holt, who is going to do a great job as Lex Luthor in the new Superman movie, I think.
For
yes,
sure.
he is great. He is Renfield, a very, very old assistant to Dracula, in a very small, which is good because a lot goes a little way. This small role of Dracula is played by the one, the only Mr. Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, second time to play a vampire, or first one if you were confused by that movie.
Yeah.
I'm talking Vampire's Kiss. But in this one, his over-the-top performance is wonderful. Renfield, basically, he's, Dracula's maitre d', he's his assistant, and he's basically a doormat. And Renfield's trying to figure out what to do with his life. Do I go on working for this toxic master? And he goes to a self-help group, which is led by, I don't know the actor's name, but he plays Isaac on Ghosts, and that guy's awesome.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's so funny.
Love that guy, yeah.
And it's got the lovable Aquafina that my wife introduced me to after watching her in Crazy Rich Asians. And I can't get enough Aquafina. I love Aquafina. She's great. Yeah, she sounds like she's from the South, though, doesn't she? Like, hi, what are you talking about?
She does. I like her. Yeah.
Just a little. Anyway, I won't spoil anything. But it's a very good movie about Renfield, his relationship with Dracula, what comes next. The Mafia's in there. The voice of Sonic the Hedgehog is in there. And it's just a really good, fun movie. Is it the best vampire movie ever? Yes. No, it's not the best vampire movie ever, but it is really good. And I don't know if a lot of people loved it, but I loved it. So I would suggest Renfield. Check it out.
Cool. I liked it too, so I'm glad you said that. Yeah, it was
Good.
There were some jokes that didn't land for me, but overall it was very funny and very, it tried very hard and it made it. I think. Yeah.
It did. It was very well done.
Yeah, the colors were good in that movie. I think the cinematography was really well done in that movie.
Yes,
So, yeah.
and of course Nicolas Cage is chewing the scenery, but in this movie it works totally. Literally chewing the scenery. Yeah.
It's true.
Oh, and as I said last week, El Dorado, Arkansas's own William Ragsdale has a small cameo as a vampire hunting priest.
What?
Remember I said it on the show? In a wink to his role in Fright Night?
Oh,
Yeah, he
that's
plays
right.
a vampire
Yeah.
hunter.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll have to rewatch it because I don't remember that.
Really?
Yeah. But anyway, there you go. My choice is Renfield. Matches, what is your John Carpenter's video movie quarter pick of the week?
Honestly, I'm going with one that we might even do in the future. That we could do.
I love how you're like, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, give it to me.
And I was, on the fence about it, but honestly, there's a lot of honestlys in here tonight. I wanted to do 1998's Dark City.
Oh.
Because I don't
would
think
love
it's
to do an episode on that, but tell me of your...
we can. Yeah.
Great
I know, like, Siskel famously loved it so much. He's on the commentary of the movie, and it's very good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He was a big sci-fi nerd. Absolutely adored this movie. And I think that's really cool. Like, yeah.
You're missing more.
Yeah, when he was a kid, some college students gave him a big box of, like, old sci-fi, like, comics and stories and magazines and stuff like that. And so he ate them up. He was always a big fan of good sci-fi, which I think is great.
Nice.
But Dark City stars Rufus Sewell, someone we don't see a whole lot. But the last time we saw him was I saw him was in Old, I think. The
Wait.
M. Night Shyamalan masterpiece,
He was
Old.
in Old?
Yes, he was.
Who was he playing in
Charles.
Old?
He
I
was.
don't remember.
I would think he was towards the end. Anyway,
Oh,
he's old and almost unrecognizable now. He's pretty
I'll
old
take your
now.
word for it.
Yeah.
He was a great villain in A Knight's Tale.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I always liked that guy, but he didn't do as much as I thought. He should. He was on the Man in High Castle TV series, but I never saw all of that. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
Nice.
this is a lost classic from the 90s, and it's one of those that's just there's big set pieces, it's big action effects. One of those 90s movies, like,
Yes.
there's other ones
Well,
like it, Fifth Element, I guess, could be, and,
Did you say who it was directed by?
oh God, what's his name?
Because that might... Oh, I can say it if you don't remember.
Say it.
Okay, Alex Proyas, the director of
Yeah.
The Crow, which I think The Crow
That's
was
right.
his first movie. He's got a very...
so.
He's got a very... And I don't mean this as an insult. This actually used to be a compliment. He's got a music video aesthetic quality to his stuff,
Yeah.
dark and gritty.
It's true, and he's only done a handful of movies ever. Like,
Yeah. Very few. Very few.
Yeah, but this one's got William Hurt. It's got Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes.
It's got Jennifer Connelly.
Wait, can you say that name again?
Jennifer Connelly.
Wow. Okay, sorry.
I knew you were going to do that. But
I had a big crush on Jennifer Connelly.
A classic noir type sci-fi movie.
It is.
It is, yeah, and it's just kind of a. It's weird. I want to go back and see it before I've ever seen it. I wish I could see it for the first time again because I had no idea what was going on. And then you watch it knowing what's happening. It's obvious the whole time. It seems like they're telling you. They're just feeding it to you, and you're just not getting it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. I have the director's cut on Blu-ray, and oh my gosh, it's so good. Kiefer Sutherland is so good at this. I don't know what you'd call him. He's almost a vampire's henchman-like scientist.
He's like a Renfield.
He is a Renfield-type character in this, and I think it's a very good movie that everyone should see. I showed my roommate it for the first time this past year, and he was like, that was awesome. Like, why does no one talk about this like they do The Matrix or, whatever?
Right.
And I don't know, it was a great movie. We saw it in the theaters back then, 97, 98. Yeah,
98. It was
98, yeah.
One of the early movies of 98, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Absolutely, all the way through. Yeah, I recommend. It's so hard.
I have the DVD that looks all special, so I don't know if I've got the commentary, though. I've never checked it.
Check it and see. There should be a few on there. Ebert's by himself on one, and then there's one with Kiefer Sutherland in the cast and other
nice.
people. So it's really good. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I recommend it. Yeah, but I was obsessed with that movie back in the day. David S. Goyer is a writer on it. Oh gosh, yeah. But that's good. I don't know where you can find it.
You can come to my house and borrow the DVD.
Yeah, or mine. Let's see. It's on Amazon Prime Video. And then you can rent it from anywhere. You can rent digital video.
And of course, like I said, I had a huge crush on Jennifer Connelly. The brunette thing, obviously, I married a beautiful brunette.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, she was wonderful. Hey, she was one of the best things about Labyrinth.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, she hung out with some dark Muppets.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah.
Hi, Matches.
Shannon?
Hi, Matches.
What's going on, buddy?
Oh, gosh. I'm out of control. I don't even know what's happening. I'm falling apart. Matches, I don't know how to say this, but I was bitten when we took our commercial break.
Were you bitten on the face?
Yes, this weird guy bit me apparently just once and then put a Band-Aid over the other one, and now I can see him. I can see him, Matthews. Oh, I know what he's doing. He's going. I've got a psychic connection.
Oh, what is he doing?
He's going to Costco.
Oh no, not Costco.
He's buying a whole lot of mayonnaise. It's spicy.
Oh,
it's
my
so
goodness. Spicy mayonnaise.
Oh my goodness, now he's at Sam's Club. Oh my gosh, now geez. He's at Chili's and he didn't join their club and he doesn't have an app. What is he doing? Oh my gosh, now he's watching Golden Girls. But he's watching it in Spanish.
Is he
so
a
I don't
vampire?
know.
What is he?
I don't know. I'm so scared.
Are you in danger of becoming this kind of person? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Oh no.
That doesn't sound too shabby to me. I like Chili's and I like Golden Girls.
Yeah. Why are the dots on your neck instead of your face? Why didn't he bite you?
This guy wasn't very good. He bit me right in the face.
Okay.
He just bath salted me right in the face.
Oh,
anyway, it's been a fun show, right?
It's been a fun show. Yeah. We did
I think so.
vampires.
Cherry lime. That's right. We did John Carpenter's Vampires, and if you loved it or hated it or felt like us where it was, I do have to say real quick. So after seeing the movie, I don't know if I said this on air, our friend B.A., okay, Matches teased me about it, even though apparently he doesn't remember that.
I don't remember any of it, no.
But B.A. wouldn't let it go, and he kept saying, hey, guess what? Paint's drying. It's got to be better than John Carpenter's Vampires, Shannon.
Oh, no.
Or he'd be
it wasn't that bad, but maybe back then we were like, what was that? That was stupid,
It was stupid. Well, I mean, Waterboy saved the day. We had a good laugh. And I felt so bad. I did feel bad because I was like, I had suggested it, And
don't feel bad.
I don't know what we could have seen other than that. Maybe that movie with Meryl Streep and Renee Zellweger, where one of them's dying. I don't know.
Who could know that John Carpenter's
Stepmom?
Vampires wouldn't be a quality new hit, you know?
I didn't know this because I knew John Carpenter made great movies. I mean, I wasn't like the John Carpenter fan I am today, but I was like,
Yeah.
this guy did Halloween, and he
Yeah.
did, you know, Big Trouble in Little China. I mean, I thought there was no way.
You think James would ask him about his The Thing?
Oh, you think he did?
He probably did, yeah. How's your The Thing?
Probably in a Jack Crone kind of way, you know.
Yep, I know.
Hey, Carpenter, how's your thing? How's your thing? Who's
Yeah,
the
this
thing,
week was
Carpenter?
very fun.
Oh, good times, good times. Well, speaking of very fun, maybe we'll have a good one next week. I'm kidding. We're glad you joined us for Vampuary. So far, it's going to wrap up next week, and I've had a lot of fun matches. I think we've learned something tonight, and if people did learn something, how can they get in contact with us?
Oh, that's a good question. They can get in contact with us through our Gmail, the official nomspodcast at gmail.com email, or you can comment below, whether you're listening on Spotify, subscribed on YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. You can comment down below if you like. You can give us a rating on some of these. You can give us a thumbs up on some of these. You can do that if you want to. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, people. No, we're really glad that you're listening to us and watching us. We thank you. I mean, of all the podcasts you could have chosen, you chose our podcast.
Yeah, there's some podcasts out there. Thank you.
There
I
are some
appreciate it.
podcasts, yeah. Well, you know, I was thinking about doing a podcast years ago, and then I heard Michelle Obama was going to do one, and I'm like, well, crap, now I can't.
Oh, gosh. No.
She took my idea. Thanks, Michelle. No, but we're really glad you're listening. There are a lot of great podcasts out there, and then there's us, and we're just two old buddies having a good time. Right, Matches?
That's true. Yeah, every week.
I love talking about the movies that we've seen together, like Near Dark and Vampires.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
good
a time.
times.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll talk about The Rage Carrie 2.
Yes.
Yeah, or The Convent. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
That might be
Oh,
a special
golly.
one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, till next time, Matches. Looks like I gotta fly. Oh no! Oh no! He left the top of the Pringles can undone. You're gonna waste your chips.
It's all right. Have fun, Shannon.
Okay,
Go with it.
I will. Me and Agent Cooper are out of here.
That's right. Bye.
Oh, did you mean that? No, we're stopping this.
Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom.